All right, this is a response to a video from Retro Blasting about the toy collecting culture needs to level up, and I forced Eric to watch it, and here's the response.
Well, I guess there is a kind of a culture out there of sorts. If nothing else, there was a network or other of toy collectors that had connected over the years.
Third party
over
creators.
The internet, like
third party creators.
Yeah.
They were selling their wares, I guess.
And
one of them ended up being a pedo or a kid diddler, however you want to call it,
and
who lives in England.
That's what this video was about.
Well, was it really?
It wasn't about that so much, but it was about this guy who
Mr. French
turned out to be
not Mr. French.
A predator, got caught in a sting operation and is in prison, which is where he belongs. This guy, Mr. French,
which was a nickname that the Junkman gave him, and hey to the Junkman.
Yeah. Mr. French, named after
Michael from Retro Bitching.
Yeah, he went on this rant about how rant, if you could call it that. I mean,
I think he was just on his high horse.
I think the dude was on some serious downers when he was making the video, because...
Well, that's all his videos.
Oh, my God.
Because all he does is bit.
But he just wanted to come on and say, I told you so, told you so. I told you this guy was no good. I've been telling you for years. Now look. And all these other members of the...
his toy collecting community.
His culture, as he calls it, are so shocked. They can't believe that this guy was like that, because they always thought he was such a cool dude. And I guess he did have some kind of a YouTube presence on this thing from England with other...
was he competing with Retro Bitching? Or was he surpassing Retro Bitching? You never know. That could be an angle of it too, a dimension Michael's jealous about.
It was this thing called the Pala Boys. It was a British thing with a bunch of collectors that this guy was a part of, and they even, I guess, had approached Mr. French to come on their show, and he didn't want to go. He didn't want to do it. He goes, I got no problem with any of your co-hosts except that one guy. I got a problem with that guy. And I guess that guy
was the diddler?
Yeah, and he had also, developed a YouTube presence with followers and reached out to his fan base, his followers, to see if he could get his hands on some items to complete his collection of toys
which I don't know if that's a substantiated rumor or if it's just Michael bitching because he has something that Michael wants. I don't know.
No, I the way he put it out there, it seemed like it was legit, because people were going, "Oh, I got one of those. I'll send it to you." And he was turning around and flipping them and selling them online for.
I just don't believe the problem is
and basically ripping people off.
But the problem is I don't believe anything that Michael says.
Well,
I can't even... there isn't enough salt for me to take for me to believe anything he says. That's the problem, too.
Right.
And his high-handedness and his holier-than-thou.
All that. And
if he...
come on, man.
Go on.
He did have a direct conflict with the dude at one point.
Exactly.
So there is an axe to grind.
Yeah. Not only that, if he's a part of this toy collecting culture, or whatever the hell he calls it, and he knew he was a bad dude... Why didn't he say anything?
Well, he apparently
just talking to the people that are his friends. Oh, I don't want to deal with that guy. That's not being proactive and saving children.
Well,
I'm just saying, if he's gonna throw that kind of shade.
Now the molesting thing may not have ever been, anything in the picture prior to this, getting busted for it.
But
they didn't know he was a predator like that. But this guy,
Michael to be calling everybody out on it.
This guy, Mr. French, to have this bad feeling about him, and I knew it all along. And now look, he is a predator and a bad guy, and he's in prison for it. So I told you so, kind of thing. Very self-righteous,
right?
And on his high horse, like you said. Yeah, no, but there is like. Legit whatever.
Well, yeah, but
history there.
Yeah.
But what he was calling out his fellow toy collectors about was how they have this don't ask, don't tell attitude, and if I didn't see it, it didn't happen, and they turn a blind eye to
Who the hell is that?
Because they don't have the
spine or
the backbone to stand up and do something about it.
The testicular fortitude, like he didn't either, because he didn't say nothing.
Right, and
I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just like, wow, pot calling the kettle black here, sweetheart. You know, you didn't have nuts to say anything.
Well,
but to say, oh look, I was right. Well, so what? You were right. Whoop-de-doo. Good for you.
Right, and for him to come out like on YouTube and put that out to the world as if, you know, it's some revelation of
or that you should just listen to me. I should be your thought leader.
Right, and I mean that was pretty much the title of the video. I was right all along, or some shit. He was bad. And I thought it was very like
condescending, self-serving.
Yeah, those and
all of it,
and also kind of
self-righteous.
Yeah, very self-righteous. In that, you know, he just had to drive it home that he had been right all along about this guy, and the collecting culture out there needs to step up,
to level up,
and
as the kids would say, because he's hip and with it,
and do better, and not be so quick to turn a blind eye to these unethical bad guy people because they're out there. And you know, the thing is, everywhere. He made that out like it's like a toy culture like exclusive issue, and it's not.
No,
it permeates nerd world all over.
It permeates reality.
I mean, really, the type of person that he was describing to me about, like the ones who didn't want to make waves or call any undue attention on themselves, or even cost themselves a relationship with somebody because they don't have very many and they can't afford to lose one just because some guy's a douchebag. He's a cool dude to me. I never seen him do anything wrong to me, you know, kind of thing. And there are those out there in the nerd world, man. Fucking most of them. There's most of the nerd boys out there are people who have been picked on, bullied, and put down,
but there's people like that everywhere with everything,
and they're non-confrontational people. It's true, but it's not exclusive to just the nerd world either. No, but there is that. It's pretty significant. Trust me, I've been a nerd all my life. I know how they are. You know, I mean, back in the day, you go to the Star Trek conventions. It's just like, oh my God, these people are.
Yeah.
Really nerdly.
Like, what the, right?
Whoa. You know, and I mean, I thought I was a nerd. These guys, whoo. So, so that's not that far-fetched to me that.
Yeah,
but they didn't want to take any action over the dude ripping people off, whatever.
Back to Mr. French's attitude.
But just the whole thing about the way he presented it, and it was just, it was arrogant, and
who the fuck is he?
And why was it so important to him to
do that video,
put that out on YouTube, that he was right all along about this guy that only a handful of people have heard of? I didn't know who any of this shit. I hadn't heard any of it. And I didn't know about some pedo guy that got busted in England in a sting operation. News to me.
Right.
So what? I mean, and it's just because he had that.
So does that mean that we aren't
incident between them?
So hold on, Eric, because we haven't heard of this stuff and we aren't in the wheelhouse of that. Are we not in the toy collecting community or culture? Fuck.
No, I'm not in that culture. Absolutely not.
My friend of the channel, Ben, was talking to me today about toys.
Oh yeah, let's go into that. Yes.
He hate watches retro bitching because he says that he says I don't think some of these he says he thinks most of these YouTubers with the toys are fake, and that they don't know why or how they're collecting. What their purpose in collecting? Is it just something to do? Just something to get clicks? You know, or what?
Yeah.
And he
and
has.
I think that goes along with pretty much anything anyone collects in general.
Yeah.
There's a number of them that
just do it to
really
do it.
Just do it to do it,
Yeah.
right? And they don't know why.
So,
and
but
they don't have like a personal attachment to any of it.
And that's what Ben said is he has a personal attachment to all the stuff that he collects.
Right.
As a kid, as everything, like I do, like you do.
Yes, everything that I have that I've kept and I've collected over the years is something that I have a personal attachment to.
This was a fucking epiphany to me. Now I know why I collect toys, why I like going shopping, why I like hunting for a bargain, why I like looking for stuff in a junkyard or a flea market or something like that. Because that's what my dad and I did. That's the only time we really spent together was doing that.
Well, see, my older brother, he had a baseball card collection. He still does. He's got a very impressive collection now. But, I mean, when he was a teenager, his thing was baseball cards.
Yeah.
And Brian, he was 7 years older than me. So, you know, I'm 7 years old and he's 14, you know. And I looked up to him. I thought he was the coolest guy I knew. And he was my brother, you know. And I think that's what prompted me to start collecting comics. I wanted to have a collection of something like my brother did, you know, but I wasn't into the baseball cards so much, but I dug the comics, so I started buying them and keeping them and collecting them and, you know, not just buying one, reading it and
throwing it away,
tossing it or whatever. Yeah, no, and I still got comics that I bought for 25 cents off the newsstand. I still have them. I'm the original owner. So, because it's my collection. You know, and I spent some time in the post-crisis. I got a big old Batman kick, and so I have an unbroken run of Batman from 400 to 500 at least. 100 issues in a row, unbroken, that I bought off the newsstand faithfully every month. And I still have it, and the same number of detective comics that ran. I don't know what the numbers were; they were different. But no, Batman 404 through 407 was the retelling of Batman Year One, and I went ahead and got the back issues all the way back to 400, and kept it going from there. And that's what collectors do.
So, to me,
that's my point. That's what collectors do.
To me, Mr. French Michael can go fuck off. He's a rude, condescending little prick who, I've got toys, look what I've got. Good, great, you got those. Good for you. I don't care. I'm not here to listen to your bullshit.
I've kind of seen some of the different videos, and there are all these different kinds of toys, they're different genres, they have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, so what?
Yeah. I try to keep within the same scale.
I can see, like, you know, toy reviews, as far as these new toys, and this is my review of it or whatever. But if you're going to be talking about, like, collecting,
pick a lane,
right? Because
or if you're just collecting toys to collect toys, that's fine too. But don't come out and bitch to other people that you're doing it wrong. It just reminds me of that episode where Peggy was selling pyramid food, you know.
Yeah.
And Bobby says, "Well, this doesn't taste like raspberry truffle." And Peggy says, "Well, you're eating it wrong." He is Peggy fucking Hill.
Right.
It's like, fuck you. And,
I mean, there are those out there that collect what they dig and you know, and they have personal attachment to it. And then there's those out there that
they want to make money.
Yeah, there's a difference between collecting, because collecting implies that you intend to keep it, and investing.
Yeah.
Which is that you are buying it with the hope that it will increase in value and you'll earn a return on your initial purchase.
Yeah.
And you have no personal attachment to it. You just leave it in the box and hope it goes up in value.
Yeah.
And that's not the same.
So
That's called investing. That's different. And,
that's fine too.
which is fine. Absolutely it is. But to try to put all of that under some umbrella of a culture, I don't.
Screw.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't think there are that many avid toy collectors out there that would constitute a full-blown culture.
Yeah.
And not that I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying that I don't think there's that many of them out there that are these toy collectors in this culture. That's what they do. They collect the toys, and that's their primary interest.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just I don't.
He just rubbed you the wrong way.
Yeah, and just the way that he came across, like in this, told you so video.
Yeah.
It was just that's what I got from it, man. It's just, I told you so. The dude was no good. Now he's been arrested and sent to prison. So, and he waited till the day after the guy was sentenced or whatever to post a video.
So he's a coward.
So that the guy couldn't
Respond or
retaliate in any way.
So he's a coward
And,
too.
yeah, or couldn't even like come in and try to tell his side of any of it, whatever. But it was anyway. If you come across it, I told you so. The dude was bad. Don't waste your time on it. It was garbage.
Yeah, retro blasting channel, and I don't want to talk shit about channels, but he's a rotten guy.
Yeah, and I think I think he's a little bit full of himself and thinks he's one of the leaders,
The thought leaders, yes.
of the culture or whatever.
He's trying to create, like Augustus was saying.
One of the inner circle of these
Yeah.
other, fucking whatever collectors that.
And if he's such a big wheel in this toy collecting culture, then he should have Hasbro and all these other toy companies by the short hairs telling him what to do and how to make money. If he's such a genius person like he thinks he is.
Well, at least that, or have their endorsement
Right?
come up, and have some kind of affiliation with them.
Oh, no, he doesn't want to do that because he's impartial.
Yeah, well, so, yeah, anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, tell us what you think about this
Mr. French.
made-up word, this made-up phrase, toy collecting culture, about Mr. French, Michael from Retro Bitching,
Well,
or anything. Toys you like, toys you hate, anything.
And I mean, he just came across like he wants to stir up some kind of a culture war controversy over this.
Yeah.
Within the culture that is pretty specialized.
Yeah.
Small group of individuals. It's not like, I mean, anyway, I guess that's all we need to say about that.
Let us know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe.